If you're seeking a compact arpeggiator to inspire creative musical ideas for your next patch, Opp Ned is the perfect solution. This module from Noise Engineering is a 4-channel arpeggiator designed for creating simple patterns and melodic possibilities in only 8 HP. Use a clock or trigger signal to advance through arpeggios and change up the pattern with its switches and CV controls. You can load, edit, and save 12 arpeggio patterns, plus transpose them collectively with a transpose input. The same arpeggio runs on all 4 channels, each advancing independently based on its trigger input. Expand the octave range, change direction, and adjust the pattern in fun and exciting ways throughout your patch. And don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel so you can be the first to know when we release new demo videos, jams, and more. On the panel, the LEDs at the top represent an octave on a keyboard for selecting notes, and they also show the 12 available slots for loading and saving patterns. The module ships with 12 of our favorite arpeggios to get you started. Here's an overview of each of the 12 pre-filled slots. The first 8 are tetrads, including the degenerate tetrad composed of 3 major thirds. The next 4 are major, pentatonic major, minor third, and pentatonic minor. You can also overwrite patterns with your own, which we'll get to next. To revert to the factory presets at any time, just flash the firmware on our customer portal. To load a pattern, switch the top switch to load, rotate the encoder to select the saved pattern, then tap the encoder to confirm. To edit a pattern, switch to edit, rotate the encoder to select a note, then tap the encoder to add or remove it from the arpeggio. If you want a specific note to be the root note of the arpeggio, hold the encoder down on that note. To save a pattern, switch to Save, rotate the encoder to one of the 12 slots, then tap to confirm. The octave switch changes the span of the arpeggio from 1 to a 3-octave range. The direction switch changes whether the arpeggio ascends up, descends down, or up then down. The pattern switch changes how the arpeggio plays back. Playing advances the notes sequentially. Zig ascends the note 1 step, descends 1 step, then jumps 2 steps. And random plays the arpeggiated notes randomly. When pressing the reset button, or using the reset input, all 4 channels will reset to their first step on the next advance. And if you hold down the reset button, all 4 channels will hold the current note, then advance to the first step when released. Inputs 1 through 4 are the trigger inputs that advance the notes on each channel. The note's CV input will change the active arpeggio being played. The Transpose CV is a quantized CV input that is added to the note output of all 4 channels. The 3 inputs here, 1, 2, and 3, up, down, and shape, are all CV inputs for their corresponding switches above, so you can add octaves and change directions and patterns with CV in addition to switching manually. And the 4 outs are pitch CV outputs that go to other oscillators 1 volt per octave inputs or other CV inputs in your patch. Let's run through a few examples. Here we'll create an arpeggio by switching to edit mode and selecting our notes. We switch to 1 octave, ascend up, and in a sequential pattern. Nice! Let's save that arpeggio by switching to save mode, selecting a slot, and tapping to confirm. Now let's send an arpeggio to 2 different oscillators, each with different trigger input signals. We switch to 2 octaves, up and down, and in a zig pattern. Here's the first oscillator. And the second. Now let's hear them both together. Both inputs are using the same arpeggio pattern, but advance independently based on their own trigger inputs. This time, let's add an arpeggio to 3 oscillators. Here's the first, the second, and the third. Let's add some CV to the octave input to change the octave range on all 3. Switch to a random pattern. You can also use the remaining channel to send the arpeggio signal to any CV input in your patch. Let's add output 4 to one of the oscillator's CV inputs. Finally, let's throw in a quantized input to transpose all the arpeggios at once. For more information on Opp Ned or any of our other Eurorack modules, visit noiseengineering.us or your favorite retailer. While on our website, sign up for our newsletter to be the first to know about new hardware, plug-in software, or both.